Cracking Thai in 10 Sentences, episode number 5. This is where I generate a random set of 10 sentences from over 4,000 of the most amazingly super useful sentences that have been curated by David Martin. I don't know what the sentences are going to be. I've made this interface. I'll be showing the first 3 sentences on YouTube. We go deep. And if you want to see the whole 10, we'll come to jacademy.com. You can buy the Cracking Thai in 10 outright, or for anyone who subscribes to the Unlimited Thai Bundle or Minecraft, of course, well then you get access to everything. And right now, there are hours of content in this series alone, but there are hundreds of pieces of content there. This is the interface I've built. If you'd like to learn how to build an interface like this, of course, we teach it in Minecraft, learning not only the linguistic skills, but the tech skills, so you can get the most out of language. Fetch random 10. You can see it running in the background. And I'm really serious about that. We have an amazing group of people who really want to learn language. Not just Thai, all different languages. We've got native speakers of different languages that help each other. But Minecraft, if you're really serious about learning a language, is the program for. And there we go. We have our 10 sentences up there. I'm not going to look at what's actually come up. I'm just going to let them hit me one by one and give you my gut reaction and see how deep we can go. It's not how much vocabulary you've got, but it's how you use it. Let's have a look at the first sentence. So this is sentence 3,787 out of a pool of 4,000 sentences. It comes from set 190, so these sentences come in groups of 20. Sometimes they're related, sometimes they're not, sometimes they're loosely related. So sometimes we'll be going down here just to see if there is a context, and this is sentence number 7. There you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, highlighted in blue. Sentence number 1, เราไม่อดตาย. Awesome vocabulary here. So here we go, rao. Now, rao is an interesting word. Anybody who's learned Thai for even a month or two, you would know that rao means us, we. However, as you go deeper into the pronouns, you will find that rao can be used for I, first person pronoun. Actually, if anybody's learned Glossica with Mike Campbell, glossica.com, it's an amazing series there. When he was first doing it, and we were discussing what's the best pronoun to put in there, because actually in Thai, if you're doing these spaced repetitions, it's hard to build a course for it because any sentence you use, the pronoun's going to change depending on age, power, and relationship, all of this. We came to the decision that rao was probably the safest bet if you're wanting a first-person pronoun that is going to be fairly neutral. It sounds kind of awkward sometimes, but sometimes it's normal. So here, rao, it doesn't give away gender, and it could mean us, or it could mean just me. Now here, the wordเราไม่อด. Have a look at this word here,อด. I just want to mention a couple of things, especially for foreign learners of Thai, and especially for native English speakers. If you see this letter here, or ang and dodek, I was speaking to a Thai teacher just this last week, and they asked me, what is the actual consonant sound of or ang? And my answer is, there is none. Or ang is a concept, and you cannot compare Thai letters to English letters. Thai letters come from an abugida versus an alphabet. So if you've learned Cracking Thai Fundamentals, if not, go and subscribe to it and buy the book. You would learn that consonants and vowels are different species. Vowels breathe life into consonants. So if you think of a consonant as this seed that doesn't have anything, and it's this seed that contains all the DNA to throat actions and throat positions, whether it's in the back of the throat, the palate, the roof of the mouth, the teeth, or the lips. Okay, so this is this seed with the DNA information of what the sound's going to sound like. And it's only the vowel that then brings it to life. And then the actions, whether it's stopped throat at the beginning, whether it's got aspiration, whether it's a semi-vowel, any of these, this is all embedded in the DNA of that consonant. And so what o-ang is the concept of the base throat. It means that something is starting from this base throat. It's not a k, it's not a t, it's not a ch. It's the base throat position. And what the rule is, if there is no vowel symbol and you've got two consonants stuck together, well, for Thai, the default vowel is o. In Sanskrit, it's a, but in Thai, it's o. And so because you've got o-ang, no other consonant, no other vowel symbol here, then a dodek, then the life that's breathed into that consonant, basically it means start from the throat and do this o vowel. So is o-ang here a vowel or a consonant? It's neither. It is a concept of the base throat. And then that pattern, this frame here, means that you add the o vowel to it. It's a bit abstract, but this is actually how we think about consonants and vowels in any Indic abugida. When I say Indic abugida, compass here, and so here we've got Thai, and you can see all of these languages here use it and more. So Devanagari, Kakagat, they all use this system. So these are consonants, but don't think of these as actually having life until a vowel is added to it. Just add water, just add vowels. So let's get back to this. เราไม่อดตาย. So the reason I said that, I hear a lot of foreigners, when they see this o-ang, think that it's an o, and they would say เราไม่อดตาย. It's not ot, it's ot. Ot. Say it with me. Your lips are closed and it's short. Ot. I'll do a comparison. Ot, 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 ot. Can you see the difference? If you wanted the sound ot, this fast ot sound, say in the word got, samui is the fast ot, except it's got a consonant at the end, ot. You would actually have to have two o-angs there, and then you would have meiteku to shorten the vowel. And so that second o-ang would be actually breathing life into that first o-ang in its abugida consonant position. And then you've got the shortener. So it'd be o shortened to ot. But this is not ot, it's ot. Listen to the sound. Ot. I'll do them in contrast once more. You really need to get this. Ot, ot. Ot, 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 ot. And again, because it's dead and this is the throat, it means it's a middle class, it's a low tone. So, ot, ot. Your throat drops down. What does ot mean? It means to refrain from. Think of the word abstinence. This is ot. So, ot gin khao means you didn't eat. Maybe you skipped the meal. That is ot gin khao. Supposing you were in the middle of a fight and you really wanted to say something that was on your mind, and then the fight passed and you went home and you think, oh, ot put. I didn't get the opportunity to say what I wanted to say, or somebody wouldn't allow me to say it. That's ot put. So ot is to refrain from or to abstain from. And here, tai, tai means death. Ta ayo. It's this long vowel, common tone, tai, ot tai. So low tone, common tone, ot tai, ot tai. So to refrain from and tai, to die. So for example, if you are starving, going without food, ot gin khao, and then as a consequence of that, you die, that would be ot tai. And so this is used often very metaphorically. If somebody doesn't get what they want, someone might say, จะไม่อดตายหรอก. You're not going to die just from not doing that. So this is whatอดตายmeans in this context. It doesn't literally mean die, but it's just metaphorically. So เราจะไม่อดตาย. Here, what do they translate? We're not going to starve to death. We're not starving to death. But here, ot, okay, they've used starving, but ot could mean anything. Maybe it's going without money, or maybe it could be anything. Wow, look at that. This is only sentence number 1, but it's so rich. Only just a handful of words, but there are so many lessons there. That's why I say for this series here, it's one of the best collections of normal vocab I've ever seen. It's not how much vocab you have, it's how you use it. Look at how we use that. Sentence number. This is something you're going to hear all the time. Wow, we've talked in many clips from the Chinese word hua, literally mean to talk, speech. It's also a connector word in Thai. So he said that. This is the one that, so that word in English would also be translated as wa, เขาบอก wa, he said that or she said that. But here, wa literally means the speech. So for example, somebody calls me, I know who it is, and I say, wa ngai. It's like, what's up? What have you got to say for yourself? What do you want to say to me? That's wa ngai. Ngai from the word อย่างไร how, gets shortened to ยังไง. Then the yang drops off. It gets shortened again to ngai. So, wa ngai. Here you've got that ngongu again in the back of your throat. So, wa ngai. So, wa ngai by itself means, what's up? What you got to say? But here, This particle makes all the difference. Na. What na actually is I'm checking for confirmation back from whoever it is that I'm speaking to. Very often I might be wanting confirmation or affirmation that what I think they meant with what they said is correct. So this one na, and the person would say, yeah, that's right. Here, wa ngai na, I'm actually saying, wa ngai, what did you say? Na, I want to check back exactly what you said because I probably didn't hear it right the first time. As opposed to just saying off the bat, wa ngai. So you've got wa ngai, what's up? What you got to say? But wa ngai na, that na particle lets me know that something has already been said, and na, it probably means I didn't understand it properly, I didn't get it, maybe I didn't hear properly, and I'm wanting them to say it again. So it's like saying, come again? So wa ngai na, next sentence. Sentence number 3, number 884, และอื่นๆ อีกมากมาย. Okay. You'll see this all the time. So in English, you'll often hear people say, etc., etc., etc. That basically is และ อื่นๆ. I think it's worth mentioning here. Look at this, how this is written. We have และ อื่น. That's a low tone, by the way, and และ is a high tone, and it's short. และ you've got to be really careful. If you speak with somebody who comes from Isan, the northeast of Thailand, very often their sala might be moved forward and it would sound closer to so they might say le, and you can hear that on people in central Thailand who have perhaps learned from someone from Isan, and sometimes there might be a stigma attached to it. At the very least, sometimes there will be misunderstanding because the word la means and, the word le means splattered. So if somebody just went splat, or you got beaten up and your face had blood all over it, that would be called le. It's just a mess. It's a splattered mess, as opposed to la. So I'm going to say these two words next to each other. I will say the word splattered versus and. Ready? Le, la, le, la. So you got it splattered, in the front, and at further back. Make sure you get that distinction there. And both of them are high tone, short vowels. It's not la, it's la, le, la, le, la. Make sure you get it right. And then because you've got a may egg, again, drop your throat down, low down. So la, and of course, this means you double it. If you have a look here from Khmer, this is actually a stylized version of the number 2. It just means double. If you speak Indonesian, you'd know if you wanted to say apa-apa, you could just write the word apa and then the number 2, apa-apa. This is basically doing the same thing, but using a stylized version of the Thai or Khmer numeral 2. So la un, and other, which means etc., etc. And then ik mák mái. Okay, so ik means more, mák, a lot, mai is basically an alliteration of mák. Mák mái means just a ton of stuff. So ik mák mái, and a whole lot more. และอื่นๆ อีกมากมาย. Let's see how they've translated, and so on, and many more, and more others. Yeah, basically any time you want to say etc., or you've just got something very ambiguous, you would throw that in. To say etc. in English, or even to write it officially in any kind of document, is not really good usage of language. It's discouraged, but you'll actually hear this a lot, even in more formal situations in Thai. It's like saying etc., etc., etc. And as a coach, early on as a Dale Carnegie coach for presentations in Thai, and later on running many presentation workshops with executives, I will try and knock this out of their Thai language when presenting. No, not just ik mák mái. You either say what it is that the mák mái is, or you just don't say it. You be specific. Because what happens is then they translate this back into English, and it sounds like, one, they're speaking in cliched speech, not very professional speech, saying etc., 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 and they're not getting to the point. So this is also a cultural issue. It's a way of thinking issue. และอื่น ik mak mai, and a whole lot of other stuff. But honestly, if you're giving a professional presentation, even though you'll hear other Thais use it, maybe try and think of other ways that you can say what you need to say without saying etc, etc. So there you go. That's the first 3. For the people in YouTube, I'm going to leave you here. If you want to see the rest in this set and all of the others from the other sets, come to jacademy.com. I have the program up there. You can get access to all of them. This is becoming such a rich set. If you haven't bought the Cracking Thai Fundamentals book yet, we'll click in the link below and order the book because you'll get the full foundation of what I've been speaking about here. Come into the program, and if you really want to learn, well, Minecraft is the program for you. So for YouTube land, I'm Stuart J. Raj. I'll see you on the other side. And for those who are staying on, let's go to sentence number 4.